What's up, YouTube? Um, so I know I didn't shoot a video last week, so I'll try to make up for it this week. Do like 11, 12 TTMs. I think there's 11 TTMs and like one uh, local card shop purchase. And my first one I actually got today, a pretty big TTM for myself. I've seen him do some autographs before. I've never been lucky enough to get him myself. And I hear he's not in the best of health currently, so let's hope he gets well soon. But got 2 of 2, Tony Dorsett, inscribed to Jacob, HOF. I don't know if I can't remember if it was dementia or what's going on with all the concussion stuff, so hope he gets well. Sorry, I'm super tired. My work, I wake up at 4 a.m., so usually I'm like laying in bed right now. Richard Sherman, I got 3 of 3. Actually, the beginning of this year, first year with the Niners. His auto signed super small blue marker, and on the blue uniform, it's super hard to see. I've heard he auto pens or something, but I don't know. The signatures all look different, but send it to PSA and find out. This one is super hard to see because it's like right in the crotch area. You can actually kind of start to see it right in there, and it just goes right across the inner thigh. One of the best corners in a generation, him with the LOB, Legion of Boom, him Cam Chancellor, Cliff Averill was in there, Bobby Wagner, Bruce Irvin, Byron Maxwell, Brandon Browner, that's what I was trying to think of. Actually, man, I feel like he might have just got like life or something, like kidnapping or something. Anyway, Herschel Walker, I've heard people talk about how he should get in the Hall of Fame because he not orchestrated, but he was single-handedly created the Cowboys dynasty by getting traded to Minnesota. But if you let him in for that, into the Hall of Fame, then you gotta let Drew Bledsoe in for getting hurt and letting Tom Brady play, and then you gotta let Mo Lewis in for hurting Drew Bledsoe. That's the same for 1,000 other players, Like, that is the ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Should all the crappy Browns players get in the Hall of Fame for Steelers trading all those picks for Ben Roethlisberger? Because Big Ben doesn't do what he does in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Stupid. I ain't got nothing against Herschel Walker. I just would not put him in the Hall of Fame for being a centerpiece for a trade. That's dumb. Hall of Fame should be performance-based. Sorry, Lynn Swann. You shouldn't be in there. Couple good highlights in a Super Bowl. And there's a guy saying Kelvin Johnson shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Okay, guy. Sorry, I'm about to go on a rant right now, but like, Lynn Swann, what do you mean Kelvin Johnson shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame? What else? What more is he supposed to do? I mean, those Steelers teams he was on, you throw a water balloon on that sideline and you splash like 12 Hall of Famers. It's kind of hard not to get in the Hall of Fame when you're surrounded by Hall of Fame, Another Herschel, sorry. Had to just say my 2 cents. This next one I actually got his first year with the Chiefs. I'm actually surprised he didn't play this year. And I feel like it's a shame that the Eagles didn't bring in good receivers until McNabb was getting ready to leave. Jeremy Maclin. They brought in him and Deshaun Jackson, like right at the end of McNabb's tenure. But before that, you had Terrell Owens. Yeah, that's good for like a year, but who else you got? Nobody. McNabb was like a one-man show, him and Byron Westbrook, but Westbrook never even played a full 16 games in a season. It's like, what are you guys doing in Philly, man? Didn't want to help McNabb out or nothing. I got this current Eagle. I don't know about the trade myself. I understand if you weren't going to bring him back, you can trade him and get rid of him, get something for him, but it put the Lions in a hole. Golden Tate, that's rookie right there. Like, you went from having 3 good receivers, you trade him away, and you're like, all right, we got 2. Next thing you know, Marvin Jones gets hurt. All right, now you got 1, Kenny Galladay, little Babytron. But you'll trade him away to get something out of him before you don't have him anymore. But when Barry Sanders and Kelvin Johnson want to leave, they lay a Hall of Fame career down for you, and you tell them you play for us or you don't play at all. Like, you could have got so much for Kelvin or Barry, because Barry wanted to go to Miami and play with Dan Marino, and I don't know about Kelvin Johnson, but I know he wanted to leave. There's another Golden Tate. I like Golden Tate. It's pretty solid. See what he does. TJ Watt. There you go, right there. I've never been able to get his brother. Tried 3 or 4 times now, but, you know, if it happens, if it happens. If it don't, it don't. You know, it's all good. But I just want to see a team that drafts, like if the Texans had JJ and drafted TJ, or like either or the Bucks or the Giants if you had Tiki and Rondé. You know, I want to see like 2 all-star brothers or family members play on the same team. Like I've seen them where you have 2 family members and they're so-so, or one's really good and one's just whatever. But like Fred Taylor and Antonio Cromartie could have played together and they were cousins, you know. Obviously, like, it's hard for certain families. Like, you can't have Peyton and Eli play on the same team. I know Peyton doesn't play anymore. Aaron Brooks and Michael Vick were cousins. You can't have them play on the same team. I mean, Aaron Brooks could have backed up Mike Vick, but whatever. I'm getting off of my own world. Sorry, I'm tired over here. Dirty Bird, Jamal Anderson. Used to be one of my favorite backs when I was growing up, but I'm sorry, you shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl. Vikings with Randy Moss should have been there. Chris Carter, all of it. I hate John Elway. Like, Brett Favre should have won a second one. Miami should have won one. Or not Miami. Minnesota should have won one. I'm sorry. Another Anderson. I think John Elway should be in the Hall of Fame. But Super Bowls, I don't want it to be that way. And I think John Elway is like the most overrated GM in the league right now. Be like, oh my God, he was smart enough to pick up Peyton Manning. Holy cow. And he got Von Miller. That's a good pick. And then you got, oh, who knew DeMarcus Ware was a good player? Jeez, I don't know. But like, everyone's like, oh my God, he dodged a bullet, Brock Osweiler. The Texans, oh, he's so smart getting rid of him. He offered Brock Osweiler a contract, you know? Like, he wasn't smart. Paid big money for Case Keenum. He's a bum. Chad Kelly, I understand. It's Jim Kelly's nephew. But he's getting arrested. He's just like pretty much a Ben Roethlisberger without Ben Roethlisberger's talent. Like, you know, riding the crotch rocket without the helmet on. Sexual assault allegations at college parties for Big Ben. This isn't Chad Kelly, obviously, but Big Ben. What are you doing at college parties, bro? Like, how old are you, man? Like, yeah, I bet they love it because you're like an NFL superstar, and this is a couple years ago. But that'd be like me going to a college party, be like, who is this guy? What's going on here? Forget about it. Anyway, back to the TTMs over here. Jamal Anderson. Dirty Birding it up. Boom, boom. Love it. This is the card purchase at the local card shop. Marcus Peters rookie card. That $1.50, that is what I paid for it. That is amazing. And I would shop there more, but my local card store is 45 minutes away. So it's not the easiest to shop there. Ernest Biner. Oh yeah, by the way, Marcus Peters, great corner, I think. Just like a diva. I feel like he should be a wide receiver. Ernest Biner, great running back with both Cleveland, Washington. Only problem is he's remembered for probably his worst play ever, where he fumbled against the Broncos. It's not good. It's not good, man. The drive, the fumble. It's just, I don't like John Elway. Something about him. I just don't like him. I don't know. I like guys around him. I like Shannon Sharp. You know, I'm not like against Denver. I just guys that, no, I'm not gonna play for you. Or if you draft me, I'll go do this instead. I understand that, but like, man, just like Eli, you just got drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. You know how many guys would kill to be there right now? And you're just like, yeah, I'll go play baseball. Leave me alone. Shut up. Ernest Biner. I'm sorry. I should be in bed. I'm just delusional right now is what it is. Alex Smith. He's good. I'm not like the biggest fan of Alex Smith. Obviously, I'm glad to have this in my collection. I always thought of him more of a game manager. Obviously, he's not like an air raid, blowing it up 500 yards, Drew Brees, freaking 50 touchdown passes a season kind of guy. And feel real bad that he's not going to play this year for sure. Might not ever play again. And I feel bad about that gruesome injury. But, like, I feel like he's always, like, the stopgap guy. He was making room for Cap. And then Cap probably would have still been in San Fran if he didn't kneel, and now he's getting blackballed. Whatever. Not getting into it. And then now, like, making room for Pat Mahomes, my guy. And I feel bad because he kind of got shafted. Like, man, it's kind of like Steve DeBerg. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he was always like, he shows up Tampa. Oh, Steve Young shows up. Oh, all right, now he's backing up Joe Montana. And then all of a sudden Steve Young shows up again. It's like he had like a super long career, but he was always like in someone else's shadow, you know? Anyway, Alex Smith had a couple good years. I ain't got nothing against him. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers was a better quarterback in that draft, and Aaron Rodgers talks about how he should have went to the Niners, but would he be as good? Because he got to sit behind Favre and learn, and Favre's like the ultimate teacher, you know, him, Aaron Rodgers, Mark Brunell, Aaron Brooks, whoever, you know, whatever. Anyway, I think the last video I had Steve Atwater and talking about how he plowed over, boom, the Nigerian nightmare, Christian Okoye. This dude was just a wrecking ball. Watch This Football Life. I love that show, man. That and the Top 100. Top 100 of all time. If you haven't checked that out, that show is amazing. I feel like my, obviously, like Hall of Fame would be a good one. There's a lot of passed away Hall of Famers, so that would be hard to do. But I want to get like a TTM of everyone in the top 100 of all time. I feel like that would be like an ultimate collection. Which most of them are Hall of Famers, so my argument's kind of collapsing on itself. So, shut up, leave me alone. Don't make fun of me. Some more nightmares for you. And then, feel bad, Alex Smith. Anniversary of Joe Theismann. Joe Theismann's at the game. It's horrible. And Joe Theismann. Guy literally changed his name to make it sound better for the Heisman Trophy, which he didn't even win. His name was Joe Theismann. Changed it to Joe Theismann for his... Anyway. Inscribed number 7 on both of these, and then on this one inscribed Super Bowl 17 champs. That one's super hard to see, but that's probably the best one. That is it. Maybe later on this week I'll do another video, if not next week for sure. Thank you for everyone tuning in, subscribing, all that good stuff, and I hope you're liking it and everything. You want to chit chat? I love talking about football, sports, football cards. Pretty much the only thing I collect is football. I used to be in a lot more sports, but pretty much NFL is my jam. But yeah, hit me up. Keep watching the videos, dude. I love doing this. I love the collecting TTMs, buying just random sports cards, whatever. All right. Talk to y'all later. Have a good night.